Hey guys, I'm Fancy, and this is Murder by Design, and this is another true crime tidbit. So, if you've been following the Madeleine McCann case like I have for years and years, you are well aware that there has been some breaking news in this case. And I'm going to give my opinion at the end here, but I'm not putting a whole lot of stock in it. It's a crazy development. I'm going to give a little bit of background on this case here if you haven't been following it, which I'm sure most true crime people have. But it's kind of a Hail Mary pass at this point that they're trying to get in here. And I really do believe that there is some people behind this. So just so you guys know, Madeleine McCann. So on May 3rd, 2020, that's the 13th anniversary of the day that Madeleine McCann disappeared. The McCanns were on holiday from their home in England and were staying in the Ocean Club in Praia da Luz, Portugal. On the night of May 3rd, 2007, Kate and Jerry McCann went out to dinner with friends at a restaurant that was a few hundred yards away from their apartment in the complex they were staying in. The McCann children, Madeleine, who was almost 4, and twins, I never know if it's Amelia or Amelie, and Sean, were left alone in the apartment with the adults, and they went while the adults went out. And the adults were taking turns going back to check on their children. And when it was Kate McCann's turn, she went to the apartment and realized that Madeleine was vanished from her bed. Now, I don't understand. I've never in my life ever heard of parents doing this. Like, I just don't get it. Apparently, they say that it's a very European thing to do. I do not understand it. I think it's highly suspicious. At very least, very neglectful, just to leave small children alone in a room by themselves, where, especially if you're leaving a door open that a predator could go in, it just seems very suspicious to me, especially considering that the resort itself had childcare and it was available at the time period that they were out. So God knows why they wouldn't have left their kids with childcare. It just seems very highly suspicious to me. Their whole story has never jived with me, but and I've watched many things. Peter Hyatt is amazing. He does a lot of forensic investigation of words and the way people's body language plays, and he has done an extensive amount of coverage on the Madeleine McCann case. He has talked about many of the things that the parents have said that indicate that they are being very highly deceptive. And in my opinion, they did not ever act the way that a grieving parent should. The father was laughing and cutting up while he was in Africa, supposedly looking for his, missing child. They just never resonated with me. Right. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'd love to hear about your ideas in the comment section, please. But anyway, this sparked a huge and expensive police operation to find Madeleine that over the years has spread across many parts of Europe. To this day, she has never been found, and although they have always denied any wrongdoing, her parents have remained under a large umbrella of suspicion in the public eye for all these years. And I mean largely suspicious. There's Facebook groups dedicated to just that. And the things that some of those groups have uncovered has been incredible. But I truly have like I said, I never believed their story. It never sat right with me. The evidence with the dogs and all the different things always made me feel that there was something very highly suspicious. So the most recent developments in the case came on June 3rd of this year, when German prosecutors said they were assuming that Madeleine McCann was dead and treating their focus on a new suspect as a murder inquiry. It was revealed by police that they had identified a 43-year-old sex offender as a suspect in the murder of Madeleine McCann. This pedophile is known by the German media as Christian B, and his last name is really Bruckner. And he's currently in prison in Germany for drug trafficking and rape. He also has previous convictions for child sex abuse and is under investigation for other child sex abuse crimes. He's a drifter who lived in Portugal's Algarve region from 1995 to 2007, and he also lived in Pradaluz for a time. Christian B. allegedly confessed his role in Madeleine's disappearance to a man in a bar in Germany several years ago. When a news report about McCann's disappearance was played on the TV in the bar, Christian B. supposedly gave his confession. He later showed the man a video of him raping an elderly woman in 2005 in Portugal, and the man called the police and reported this information around the 10-year anniversary of Madeleine's disappearance. That's just such a weird thing. Like, what guy is sitting in a bar and just some random other dude, a video of him, raping an elderly woman? That just makes no sense to me. But anyway, I mean, I guess crazier things have happened. The Metropolitan Police appealed for information from the public about their new suspect, who was seen driving a camper van in the area around the time Madeleine disappeared. And in about 24 hours, they had received almost 300 emails and phone calls. There was also a 30-minute phone call made to Christian B's phone in the same area, and police want to speak to the person who made the phone call. Now, Madeleine's parents reportedly thanked the police, saying, in part, all we have ever wanted is to find her, uncover the truth, and bring those responsible to justice. We will never give up hope of finding Madeleine alive, but whatever the outcome may be, we need to know as we need to find peace. On July 12, 2020, Portugal police and firefighters searched 3 wells that are no longer in use, but the searchers found no evidence of Madeleine's body in those wells. And Portuguese police reopened their investigation into the unsolved rape of an Irish woman who believes her rapist may have been Christian B. That happened on July 23rd, 2020. Then on July 25th, 2020, a retired teacher told Portuguese police she believes she saw Madeleine McCann in a supermarket on the Algarve coast in 2017. Madeleine would have been 14 at the time, and the woman said she thought it was Madeleine because she had the same blemish in her right eye. So on July 28th, 2020, German police searched a plot of land around 40 miles from the city of Braunschweig, where Christian B was last registered as living. A day later, on July 29th, 2020, the media reported that German police found a hidden cellar while they were searching a garden property linked to Christian B. During the search, they utilized some heavy-duty equipment, including ground-penetrating radar and drones. Investigators were seen carrying items, including a child's toy bucket, off the property after finding the cellar. And a former neighbor, Wolfgang Koschus, said Wolfgang, anyway, his name is Wolfgang, said there was a shed-like building on the property back in 2007, but it had been demolished since then. He said that Christian B would sit for hours drinking beer in the shed before disappearing in 2008. It's believed that the cellar was under the ground beneath that shed before the shed was demolished, and the cellar remained a hidden secret until now. So Christian Bruckner is serving time for drug trafficking, and he appealed his conviction for the 2005 rape of a 72-year-old American woman in Portugal, in the Portugal resort. Politician Ulrich Waterman says the European Court of Justice has already made up its mind that the rape conviction was lawful. He was sentenced to 7 years in jail for the rape, and he is set to begin serving that sentence in January. As of July 23rd, 2020, police said they had evidence that Madeleine was dead and Bruckner was responsible, but not enough evidence to charge him. And there is actually less than 2 years to prosecute someone in the Madeleine McCann case because of the 15-year statute of limitations under Portuguese law, which I think is bullshit. I do not believe that there should be these types of statute of limitations in these types of cases, child murders, rapes, kidnapping, molestation. I don't think that there should be any type of statute of limitations. I just think it's disgusting that that these people can get away with it because somebody was scared to come forward for so long or didn't realize this had happened to them or these things. It's just really frustrating to me. It makes me very angry. This is a case I've followed a lot, guys. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, I've always believed that the parents were at fault in some way. I'm not quite sure that it was exactly, like a planned thing. I think they may have drugged the children to keep them asleep while they were off, tripping the light fantastic and drinking and hanging out with their friends. And maybe they did too much and overdosed her, or something happened where she got up and she fell and hit her head or something. And so I just truly believe that the parents are responsible in some way for covering up this disappearance, or what I really truly believe is a death. I think that based on some of the things that I've watched and analyses of their patterns of speech, their body language, some of the things that I've just witnessed as evidence in other places, I just truly do not believe that they are being truthful. Definitely not what you would expect grieving parents to act like. And I do understand that everybody grieves differently, but nothing that they did was normal. Nothing. Absolutely no things. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Christina, my partner in crime here, says she agrees with us completely about him being a scapegoat. My gut has always said that her parents are guilty of more than just neglect. And I agree with that completely. It's unfortunate that this has gone on for so long, that these parents have been able to just fly under the radar and not really have anything. I do know that there were many errors made by the Portuguese police in the beginning of investigating this that really did in many ways shape the outcome of this investigation. It's been a really strange case that has kind of gone on and on and on. Exactly. I'm telling you, Rebel, it is my gut feeling, absolutely gut feeling, that it is the parents in some way. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not quite sure whether it was an accident that they just covered up, or whether it was, something intentional. Oh, I know. And sending, they sent the testing, the DNA to be tested in Britain, and that was wrong. I mean, that was just the most bonehead thing that ever happened. I don't know. I've always had very suspicious feelings, and I'm usually right when I have those feelings. You're absolutely right. I'm usually onto something, when I have those types of feelings about cases. And I've always wondered about the other two children. Like, why would they take Madeleine and not the two younger children? What were they doing? There were other children nearby that they could have, taken the other children in this. It just seems, the whole thing seems odd. A lot of the details around it have always seemed suspicious, stating that, the one lady thought that she heard something, but she just went ahead and didn't go inside because she didn't want to disturb the children if they were, kind of just being restless. It's always just been very, very strange to me. And so let us know what you think about this new German development. I personally think it's a scapegoat, and I don't think anything's going to happen from it, because I don't think that we're going to get Madeleine to find Madeleine's body. I don't think that they're going to prosecute this guy. So, I just don't know. I really think that this is a crazy development that I don't understand why it's happening. That's for one thing, for sure. Unless something is happening that the parents have pressured somebody to do this. I really don't know why this is happening. And there's even rumors floating around that it's somehow, tied to Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein. I just, and exactly, they do have a lot of influential friends in high society. So, I mean, it's heartbreaking, this poor little girl. And I wish we would find out what actually happened to her. I really do. It's always weighed on my mind. It's one case that has always fascinated me, and I've always been very attracted to investigating and looking into. And we may eventually, as a team, do that. May actually, look for all the stuff that has been gathered and kind of go through it and see what we really think once we look at every single thing that we can find on this case. It may be something that we decide to do on Murder by Design, because we've talked about her in the past, but this development was very interesting this week, and coming out. And I know it's been going on for a little while with this whole thing, of the suspect, but they finally have started talking a little bit more about him and what they're doing. But most of the people that have been following this case for a long time believe that this is a ruse. And I'm going to have to say that I honestly do too. So thank you guys for tuning in again today for our true crime tidbit. Don't forget that Colleen will be back on Friday with her true crime tidbit at 2. And if you have been watching, we have started a couple new things. We're doing the five, gosh, dummy, figure out where your camera is. 5 at 4. Today, there will not be a 5 at 4 just because Tori had to have some emergency dental work done. But every other day of the week, you can catch us at 4 o'clock Eastern. We do 5-minute little clips on true crime cases. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're very informative. You'll get to hear from me, Tori, and Christina on those. And then every day at 6 p.m. Eastern, Colleen is doing her This Day in True Crime. So she'll be telling you about different true crime cases over the years on the specific day. So you want to tune into those on our Facebook. If you're already not part of our Facebook, you can find us at facebook.com/MBD True Crime. Let me go ahead and put that up on the screen very quickly for you so you guys can go find it. Okay. There you go. Rebel, I know it was freezing, but I did come back and I did finish it off, so you can try and watch it again. It is on our Facebook. Guys, you can also at the end of the week, we will be putting them out in clips. There won't be the full thing, but there will be clips put on our YouTube. But this is, something that we're doing on just our Facebook channel. And we're going to be introducing a couple more things too. We're going to do starting with the stupidest criminal of the week. We're going to do all kinds of cool stuff. So we've got a lot coming down the pipeline, as well as introducing a couple new podcasts. One of them is a podcast that we're producing for a very dear friend of ours, who is sharing some experiences. She'll be having some amazing guests on there. She's got an interesting story to tell. You guys are going to want to check that out when it comes out. And then in October, we're releasing 2 new podcasts that are different than the Good Wives Guide to True Crime. So you guys, we've got a lot coming on. So come and check us out every day on our Facebook. And Friday night, we will be live with Cheryl McCollum discussing the Honey Malone case that she and Karen Greer from CSI Atlanta helped bring awareness to and helped find the man who was responsible, and some of the people that were involved in this. And they're still working on it because they're still, they're still trying to find the other people involved. But they did some amazing work on this amazing work on this story. And I'm really excited to bring it forward to you guys on Friday Night Live over on our YouTube channel, Murder by Design. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your week. Happy Hump Day. Bye.